So let me start with the question, why meditating? Why do we need to meditate? So everybody has different reasons. Everybody has different motivations to attend meditation, and especially in nowadays when there's so much stress around us, we all are seeking some sort of silence, some sort of joy when we are sitting with ourselves, some sort of comfort, at least for 10-15 minutes of our day when we are with our own self. So everybody has different reason, but the objective is same, is to find that comfort, to joy, and that peace within ourselves. So first aspect of meditation is to detach ourselves. We tend to think a lot, and it could be partly because of our conditioning, as well as the pressure or the effect of our surroundings. There are too many things which are going around, and it lingers in our mind. And many times, even though we don't want, unconsciously, our mind is always analyzing, engaged with itself, and trying to understand or find meaning or comfort in those thoughts. In medical term, this is referred as humming or noise, constant noise. And over the period of time, we become mentally used to of this noise. So even though we do not want to think, even though we are not paying attention to it, it still keeps on going without our awareness. And many times it affects our mental health, it affects our emotional health, and it affects our physical health. So by breaking that conditioning, by breaking that thought process which continuously happening in our mind, we allow our body to recuperate itself, connect with itself, and allow it to heal it in a holistic way. So that's some of the initial motivations or benefits we can see when we try to meditate. So meditation is nothing, it's not an exercise, it's not something which we try to do in our day-to-day life. It's not a checklist. It's the state which we are trying to achieve within ourselves by detaching ourselves from our thoughts and disconnecting ourselves from all the outside things. So what's the advantage? What do we get when we go into that meditative state? So on the gross level, you can say at least you find the peace, you find the joy, and you find some comfort when you connect with ourselves. When you ignore our thoughts, when you reduce the intensity of all those mental activities, it helps us to calm down, and it helps us to find that joy within us. It's medically proven that when we are too much active or when we are mentally engaged, our body is generating too many chemicals, and which increases the intensity of our thoughts in our mind. But as we put ourselves both physically and emotionally at a comfortable level, that chemical reaction within our body reduces. And in return, as a byproduct, it also reduces the intensity of our thoughts in our mind. So just taking a break, as we say, take a break, calm down, relax, that in a physical sense truly affect our health. And if we take it one step further and reduce those thoughts and maintain a thoughtless state within ourselves, it gives a complete joy. It gives us a new dimension in our human awareness. And that's what we are going to talk about in the following slide. So we get the physical comfort, we get the emotional comfort, and we get the mental comfort when we relax ourselves, when we sit down. And as we go into that meditative state, it also brings us, as a byproduct, a new dimension in our awareness, which shows or which reflects in the form of tingling, cool, or hot breeze on top of our head, as well as in the center of our palms. So before we talk about our subtle system, let me just take a moment and talk about Shri Mataji, who is the founder of this meditation. She developed this technique of giving people en masse realization in 1970s. And since then, she traveled all over the world because she saw that all of us were able to read, were able to collect information or knowledge at the intellectual level. But very few of us could transform that intellectual knowledge into an experience. So her objective was that let people have the experience first. And that's where she developed that self-realization exercise, that let people connect, let people experience their own energy. And once they have that experience, once they have that relationship, then when we talk about all these centers, all these um, different qualities which resides within us, which are innate within us, then it becomes more relevant. Then it's become more practical. So she developed that technique, and since then she traveled all over the world, giving people en masse realization and allowing them to feel and experience within themselves. Her idea was simple, but she always said that do it with open heart and do it with open mind. You don't need to take it on the face value. Whatever we share here, whatever we experience here, take it as a hypothesis. Experiment with yourself and find out yourself whether that is true or not. And that's one of the reasons why Sahaja Yoga is free all over the world. Because what you are doing is you are trying to use your own energy with your own desire and with your own action. We are just sharing our experience with you. So with that, let's move on to the next slide. And this represents our subtle system within us. Now, there are 3 channels in the subtle system, as you can see. Blue on the left-hand side, right on our right side. So assume this is a reflection, mirror reflection of ourselves. So that's why images are little shifted. So left channel seems on the right side and the right channel seems on the left side. But blue channel is the left channel, and it represents our emotions. It represents our past, and it also represents the pure desire within us. On the other hand side, the yellow channel or the right channel, it represents all the action and mental activity which we do for our sustenance. It also represents the pure, the stable, and steady attention within us. Now, you can take a moment and think about yourself. Many times, our attention is not stable. It's like a joey or it's like a bunny hopping from one thought to another all the time. And it could be many times that our mind is so clouded, so fogged up with our thoughts that we cannot concentrate. We cannot focus on our task or whatever things we need to take care. All the thoughts take away our attention. So by clearing our mind, we allow our attention to become stable and steady. and that is reflected on the right hand side. The channel in the middle, white color channel, it represents our present moment. When we are in the present moment, we observe everything, but we do not react to it. When we go into the meditative state, when we bring ourselves into a thoughtless state, we are not hallucinating or we are not in some other domain or experience. We are in the present moment. We are aware of everything which is around us. We sense everything which is happening around us. It just, we do not react to that. And that gives us the awareness of our subtle system and the energy within us on top of our head, which is shown here in the form of flower on top of our head, as well as it gives us awareness of our subtle system on our palms. So there are 7 centers along our central channel. And these 3 channels and 7 centers are nothing but, in the medical term, are called as sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems. And the centers are called as nerve plexus. So each and every center has a critical role to play for our physical self, as well as it reflects different qualities of our being. Some of those qualities are represented over here, and these gets highlighted or start showing up more in our day-to-day life when we are in the balanced condition. And also, as a byproduct, you can get the awareness of these centers on your palms. So if all these centers are in a balanced condition, you feel the cool breeze on your palms. But for any reason, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be mental, for any reason, if any of these centers are out of balance, you feel that tingling or heat on particular part of our hand, and that's related to that particular center. So if you see the color coding, each and every center is represented on our palms. So by connecting with our own self and allowing to go into that thoughtless state, we all become, please remember, we become our own guru. We become our own doctor. We become our own master. We can ourselves diagnose or detect if any of these centers are out of balance. And that awareness comes in the form of tingling, heat, or cool sensation. But if all the centers are balanced, you feel the cool breeze on top of your head as well as in the center of palm, because the 7th center, which is on top of our head, is represented in the center of our palm. So let's go over the 9 steps of self-realization. And what is self-realization? Self-realization is nothing but exercise, you can say, where we use our pure desire, the channel of our pure desire, by showing our willingness to learn about this process. And then we use the channel of our action, which is the right hand, to place it on different part of our body and enlightening the qualities which resides on these centers. So let's go over one by one what are those 9 steps, and then we'll all collectively do it. So first thing, we keep our left palm open in our lap and we place our right hand on our heart. So that's the first step. So remember, we are working only on the left hand side because left channel represents the pure desire within us. So throughout the exercise, our left palm will stay open in the lap. If you are sitting on the ground, you can have this posture. If you are sitting on a chair, just keep your left palm open in your lap. Second step, then we bring our right hand down around the rib cage, lower rib cage area or upper abdomen area. And this is the center where our guru principle resides. So at every stage, we are going to say an affirmation, and those affirmations are nothing but the qualities at these centers which we are trying to enlighten with our desire and attention. Third step is placing our right hand on the lower part of the abdomen, the place where our hip bone joints. We can apply gentle pressure with our fingers. Then fourth step, we bring our hand up back to the upper abdomen area around the lower rib cage. Then we bring it to our heart. Then we place it on our neck on the left hand side, and we try to reach at the back of our neck. So if it makes it convenient for you, you can turn your head towards the right so that from the left hand side, you can reach at the back of your neck. Next one is we place it on top of our forehead, and we can gently lower down our head towards the ground, just to show humility to our energy which resides at the base of our spine and referred as Kundalini energy, which we are trying to enlighten or bring out from its dormant state by going through this self-realization exercise. Then, eighth step, we place our hand at the back of our head, right opposite our forehead, and we can lean our head on our hand, right hand. Then the final step is we raise our hand, we spread all our fingers of right hand, and from the center of our right hand palm, we gently apply the pressure on top of our head, around the soft bone area or the fontanelle bone area on top of our head. And we rotate our scalp 7 times in clockwise direction. And every time as we rotate our hand, we request our motherly energy to give us our self-realization. So just to recap what we saw. So there are total 9 steps. We begin with placing our right hand on our heart, then the upper abdomen area around the lower rib cage. Then third step is the lower abdomen area, the place where our hip bone joints. Fourth, we bring it back on the upper abdomen. Fifth, we place it on our heart. Sixth, we place it on our neck on the left hand side. Seventh, we place it on our forehead. Eighth, we place it at the back of our head. And ninth, on top of our head. So don't worry if you don't remember everything. In the video, Shri Mataji explained each and every step, and she will also tell you the affirmation. But this is just for your reference. That's what we are going to do during the self-realization exercise. So let's. So before we begin, what I would request everyone is please open your hands in your lap, keep your palms open. Let's close our eyes. Let's bring our attention inward. And for a few moments, just try to observe ourselves. Anytime we get any thought in our mind, just ignore it. Or you can say, not this time. So we can go through the self-realization video. If you want, you can keep your eyes open and watch the video and follow the steps as Shri Mataji explained.
First of all, please put your right hand on your heart. All the time the left hand disturbs me. Now, here you have to say, in your heart, with all sincerity, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question 3 times in your heart. This is a very fundamental question. Now bring the right hand on to the left hand side of your stomach, in the upper part. Here press it. Now this is the center of your mastery, your guidance, your Guru Tattva as they say. So ask a question, Mother, am I my own master? This is a question to be asked 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Now, bring your right hand down below, in the lower part of the abdomen. Now, this is the center from which all the divine work is done. All the pure work is done. So to ask 6 times, because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. 6 times you just ask. As a result of this asking, the Kundalini starts getting awakened. Now, to help the Kundalini rise, you have to cooperate with her. So, please put your right hand on the left hand side in the upper part of your abdomen and press it on the stomach. Now, here you have to say with full confidence to help the Kundalini to rise, Mother, I am my own master. This you have to say 10 times. These are the 10 commandments which you have to say. That, Mother, I am my own master. Now, 10 times with full confidence. Now, please raise your right hand to your heart. Now, here you have to say, again with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This is the truth. You are the Spirit. But you have to say with full confidence, Mother, I am the Spirit. This you have to say 12 times. Now one has to know that God Almighty is the ocean of love. But above all, He is the ocean of forgiveness. So He forgives. Whatever wrong you do, He forgives. So don't feel guilty and put your right hand across on the left hand side in the corner which is made by your neck and your shoulder. Now here you have to say again with full confidence 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. Please say it. Mother, I am not guilty. 16 times. I am not guilty at all. Please say it. Please say it. Now raise your hand across on your forehead. And it's a very important center. Here you have to say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Please say it from your heart. How many times is not the point. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now, some would say that it's very difficult to forgive. But it's a myth that we do not forgive or we forgive. We do not do anything in both the cases. But if we don't forgive, then we play into wrong hands. So please say from your heart, Mother, I forgive everyone. Now please take your hand on the back agya, the same center, on the back side of your head and allow your head to rest on it and push it back a little bit. Now here, you have to say, for your satisfaction, because you always feel guilty, that, oh divine, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive. Please forgive me from your heart. Stretch your hand fully and put your center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a very soft bone in your childhood. Press it hard. Press hard your scalp. Now you have to move it 7 times, saying one thing, which you have to ask for. Mother, please give us my self-realization, because I cannot force on you. So you have to ask for it. 7 times, press it hard and move it 7 times. Very hard. Slowly, saying that.
Let's continue in the meditative state. We can keep our eyes closed if it helps, and try to keep our attention on top of our head, the last place which we touched with our right hand. We just try to keep our attention over there. And if you get any thoughts, just ignore them. Do not let your thoughts drive away your attention. We can bring our attention to our palms. And again, just try to observe, not at the mental level, not any guessing or trying to find something mentally, just on the subtle level, at the witness level. Observe if we have any sensation on our palms. Something new which you did not experience before. Any kind of tingling on particular hand or particular finger. Any kind of heat or cool breeze sensation on either of your palms. Again, don't try to analyze it. Just enjoy. Whatever experience you may have, just enjoy. We can open our eyes. And as shown here in the picture, let's keep our left palm open in our lap, but place our right hand on top of our head, few inches above the seventh center, which we massaged during the self-realization. Just place your right hand few inches above and observe if you have any cool or warm sensation, warm breeze sensation coming out of your head. Just for your confirmation, you can move your hand around either sideways or up and down to confirm that that gentle breeze, it's only at one point. It's not all over the head. It's just at one point you will feel that cool or warm breeze. Now, sometimes what happened, because of all our hectic schedule and workload and too much thinking, our subtle system, one side can be more dominating than other. So let's bring our right hand back and keep it palm open, but in the same manner, place our left hand few inches above on top of our head and see again, try to observe if you have any warm or cool breeze sensation on top of your head. Not mentally, not forcing ourselves, but gently, just observing, just witnessing. If we have a warm or cool sensation on top of our head. You can again move your hand sideways or up and down to find that sweet spot on top of your head. Once we are done, we can bring our both hands back to our lap. Now you may ask, what does the tingling or heat means? So tingling or heat represents that particular center, or if you're feeling on the over the whole hand, then it's that particular channel or the side has some sort of imbalance. And it could be because of our work day, it could be because of our any kind of stress, affecting any particular center. And in the beginning, for the first time, it could be that as our energy has risen from its dormant state, it's trying to work on these centers and trying to bring them into a balanced state. And that gives us that warm or tingling sensation. Do I need to do anything special about it? No. As we continue meditating and allow this energy, which resides at the base of our spine, if I go back to the slide which we referred, so at the base of our spine in this triangular area lies this 3.5 coil energy, which is called as Kundalini energy. So during the self-realization, we are trying to bring this energy along the central channel from its dormant state, and it opens up on top of our head and makes us part and parcel of the whole. So it allows us to connect with the primordial energy which is all around us. And that's the awareness we feel in the form of cool or warm breeze. So we do not need to do anything special. If you're feeling warm or tingling sensation, just continue meditating, and that will transform into the cool breeze. So on that note, I'll stop here and I'll hand over to Shwetank, who will go over the first center. And after his explanation and presentation, we'll meditate for 2 more minutes silently all together, and then we'll end the session. Shwetank, it's to you.
Thank you, Ajay. Let me share my screen. So the first chakra is called the Mooladhara chakra. Mool means the root. Adhar means the basis of the root. So it is the starting of our subtle system, the most important chakra that we could have. So Mooladhara chakra is representative of the innocence that we have. We are all born with innocence, just like the kids are, but it gets shrouded by different things as we grow up. But as Shri Mataji has said, innocence never dies. It is just covered in layers. And with Sahaja Yoga, with this constant meditation, those layers keep coming out and our innocence becomes prominent. And that is the innocence which helps us achieve that state of self-realization. So a little bit of the details about it. It looks exactly like this as we see in the picture. It has 4 petals, the red color. The day is Tuesday. The element is earth. These are the locations of the Mooladhara chakra, which is right at the base of the root of your palm. If we touch where our wrists begin, that is the exact place where the Mooladhara chakra is represented. This is because all these chakras have their nerve endings on our palms. So the Mooladhara chakra is at the wrist or the root of the palm. And the physical location of the chakra is right exactly at the place where we sit when we sit on the ground, exactly at that place. So these chakras are not only representative of our subtle characteristics like innocence, wisdom, knowledge, the sense of direction, but at a very physical, gross level, they also take care of our physical organs. In this case, it will be the prostate glands, the womb, the reproductive and the digestive organs. All those are taken care by this chakra. So the healthier this chakra is, the healthier is the beginning of our subtle system and the organs which are in the vicinity. Let's move on to the next one. So this is the physical manifestation. As we said, it's right at the base where we sit while we sit on the ground. So it's exactly at the base of our spine at that level. On the head, it's at the back of the head, and it's at um, the ankles of the foot. So in terms of the physical and the psychological functions which this chakra has, represents the sexuality, the reproduction, excretion, as we've already discussed, and also the memory and the emotional equilibrium. So if there are blockages in this chakra, or um, if it is not functioning correctly, if it's, we can say it's unhealthy or it hasn't reached its optimum state, we could have problems in related to these points which are mentioned. But as and when the health of the chakra is improved, we feel that we are emotionally more stable. We have a better memory. Our organs are working uh, at a better health, and all the other benefits that come with it. At a subtle level, the qualities that are represented are innocence, which is the most important quality, which Shri Mataji has described. It is by default found in children because they are more close to nature than we are. But as and when we grow up, it gets covered with different layers like materialism, like too much thinking, our own ego. But slowly, after meditation, it just goes it just comes out. It represents itself. The other qualities are the simplicity. It also gives us the innate wisdom, not the wisdom that we gain out of reading books or attending classes, but the natural wisdom that we're supposed to have, like um, the animals or the birds, uh, especially the migratory birds. And just as an example, they have this wisdom of the sense of direction and the wisdom where to go. They can just migrate using the Earth's magnetic poles over long distances, and they have not read it anywhere. So that's because that quality of innocence is still alive there. Somehow it gives us the sense of direction. And last but not the least, since this is represented by the earth element, which is the most important element, um, the more harmonious we are with nature, the better um, the health of this chakra is. So harmony of nature is better. So when we say that we have to clear this chakra or get this in correct health, the first thing we do is be in touch with nature. Better to sit on the ground. If we cannot, then at least if we are sitting on a chair while we meditate, we place our feet on the ground. So we are connected some way or the other to the Mother Earth. And it's better to go out in nature, be out, sit in the grass for some time, meditate. That really helps this chakra because of the connection with the Mother Earth element. Um, One of the methods how to cleanse this chakra is called the foot soak. The first one we've already talked about, sit on the earth. It helps to clear that, or at least have your feet on the ground. The other is foot soak, where we just take a bowl, fill it with water in a normal temperature, mix some salt in it, and dip our feet there. Meditate for some time, and then wash our feet with this clean glass of water in the same bowl and flush this water. Um, and we do not use this bowl for any other thing because we are using it for our cleansing. But this is a technique that we will discuss later on. And the last one is spending time in nature. So this is in very short the um, knowledge about this chakra. But the only thing is that the more we meditate, the more qualities will be manifested about this chakra, and the more we will know. So with this, I will just end here because we're reaching the end of time, but we can have a little bit meditation with some music. If anyone has questions, please you can ask me.
Thank you, Shwetank.
Thank you.
So let's all for a few minutes, let's all open our palms. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, you can continue watching Shri Mataji's picture. Her picture helps to go into that meditative state easily, to overcome our thoughts. Anytime we get any thought in our mind, just ignore them. Once again, let's raise both our palms to our heart level. Keep our both palms open in front of us. And pay attention to our palms. Just gently observing the sensation or the experience we might be having on our palms. If you do not feel anything, that's okay. Don't get discouraged. It's the sensitivity which we develop over the time. But if you do experience something, then just enjoy it. Don't get into the mental state of analyzing and judging yourself. So on that note, we can open our eyes, and what I would recommend everyone, whoever joined for the first time today, please continue trying morning or evening or both if you can. Try continuing practicing at home. If you have time, go over these affirmations again. If you don't have time, just gently press on top of your head with your right palm and bring your hand down, keep your palms open, and meditate with your attention on top of your head. Anytime you get any thoughts, just ignore them. Don't allow our thoughts to overpower us. And that will help to get into that thoughtless meditative state easily. In the beginning, it might be for a few seconds, the experience might be for a few seconds, but as we continue practicing at home, that experience will go deeper. It will start manifesting for the longer period of time, and you will feel that cool breeze sensation at the end of your experience. So apart from that, we also have Sunday to Thursday every night around 9:30 p.m. half an hour session, a guided session, which can also help you in your daily meditation. So, I would encourage everyone to attend these sessions. If you can give me your email ID, then I'll forward it to you. Or if you already have that link, then please continue attending on the Zoom session. And you can text me your email ID so that I can also forward you the relevant handouts or material to refer at home. But at the end, only thing which matters is your pure desire to meditate. Everything else, whatever we have done, whatever we have discussed here, and what we are going to do in the following meetings, these are only the channels or instruments to get into the meditative state. Main important aspect is please do it with your open heart, please do it with open mind, and continue practicing at home. If you did not have experience today, I'm 100% sure within a week you will have that experience. I'll just quote at the end. I'll try to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly the quote. But what I read, that there are three things which are important for our growth and spiritual ascent. First is the silence of our speech, and that happens as we go into the meditative state. Second is the silence of our desires. Again, that we can overcome as we go into our meditative state. And third one, which is the important one, is the silence of our mind. If we can overcome our thoughts, which keeps on lingering even when we don't want it, it helps us to touch, to experience that meditative, that thoughtless, that vibrational experience within ourselves. On that note, good night to all of you. Hope all of you have enjoyed the session today, and we would love to see you again next week on Thursday, 7:30 p.m., or during our regular weekly or daily sessions at 9:30 p.m. in the night. Thank you all.
Thank you.